to my channel. Is it recording? Yes, it is. Yes, so we're back and we're here with a story time. So let me get the questions. A couple of things that we have to talk about in this video. One is the story time, and then the couple questions that I got in regards to how to become a flight attendant. So I'm going to be going over those things in this video, you know, just for anyone who wants to become a flight attendant. The job is actually really fun. We're just going through like a little world crisis right now, so everything is like on a setback, but that's okay. We're gonna get over it. Right, just pray, blah blah blah, you know. All right, so what are we gonna do first? I think let's do the questions first, and then let's go into story time. So one of the questions were, let me see. One of the questions were if, depending on the company, if they're very harsh on tattoos. Yes, they are. Depending on the company, though. A lot of the companies are very harsh when it comes to the tattoos, and most likely if you have a tattoo that is visible while you're in uniform, you will not get the job. So what I would say is try finding a makeup where you know that's gonna cover the tattoo, and especially for a lot of people who have tattoos right here, if you raise your hand like this and your shirt goes below that tattoo and it's visible and not even your makeup can cover it, most likely you're not gonna pass the interview. So what I would recommend is that in the interview process, when they ask, do you have tattoos? Say yes, but I do have makeup to cover it, and then go from there. It's better to be straight up than try to hide it, and then while you get into training, then you get sent home for your tattoos being visible. In training, I do remember one girl, she had on skin tone stockings and she had a tattoo on her ankle, and she didn't get written up for it, but they kind of was just like, hey, we told you guys about the tattoos, why didn't you cover it? You know, so I would say very be careful about the tattoos, and you know, how you cover them and how you're presenting yourself to go to interviews. Another question is that, can guys who are not a part of the LGBT community become a flight attendant? And yes, you can. A lot of people always think that guys who are a flight attendant, they're a part of the LGBT community, and it's not always that. You know, the job comes with a lot of benefits. It's a lot of fun. You can enjoy yourself. You can travel all over the world while still living and making money. Who don't want to do that? You know? But they are LGBT straight guys. So it's like, that's why a lot of people always think that way, but it's not always that way. So people who are straight can apply to be a flight attendant. Or there's other jobs in the airlines. You could do maintenance, become a pilot. There's a lot of things that you can do to be in the airlines, you know. One of the other questions was, how do you get past the 6-hour interview? My interview process was really long. So I applied on the website flight attendants careers.com. And the website lists a lot of different airlines who are hiring. Go on their website and apply. Just keep applying. They're gonna get back to you. If it's for you, this job is for you, they're going to get back to you. Do not worry. Okay? Don't worry. But yes, so my interview process was so long, but it was all worth it in the end. So you apply online, you get this call, they do a phone interview. Sometimes they may do a video interview depending on the airline. It's not always that way. And one thing I must say is, when you go to these interviews, make sure you're smiling. Make sure you're all smiling. Red lipstick, you're smiling. When you're talking, you're smiling. And I'm stressing it because it is very important that you're able to carry out a smile and look happy and look presentable with a lot of grace and class. Okay? So make sure that you're smiling the whole time in that interview process. It's not more of a, it is an interview, but while you're there, they want to see how you interact with people, when how you take initiative to become the leader, but do you also work good as someone who's taking directions from the leader. So they want to make sure that you're playing along in group activities, you're answering questions. So what I would say is, whatever airline you apply for, Google them, do your research, write your questions down, because when you go, you want to be ready, you want to be prepared. But always remember, smile throughout the whole process. It's about 6 hours long, and you're there I had to be there from like 7 o'clock in the morning, and we were sitting in this room and we did group activities. They talked, they explained to us what to expect, and then the real interview, the face-to-face, after you took your lunch, because they give you lunch, yes, after you took your lunch, the real interview, which is the nitty-gritty, when you getting down, pen and paper this time, you feel me? When you get down to that part, this is like you and that person. And, it's like a regular interview. Still smile, make sure whatever questions they ask you, you take your time, you listen, and then you answer. Do not rush in to give an answer, because you don't want to give the wrong answer and then give off the wrong impression. So just, be patient. If it's for you, if this is what you want, I will say pray about it, because that's what I did. The first time I did an interview for a different airline, I got through all the way to go to the interview. They flew us out to do an interview. And before I even left the state that I live in, I just knew it wasn't for me anymore. But I did go through the process because I wanted the experience, and that prepared me for my second interview with the company I'm with now. So that's a whole nother thing. But like I was saying, just pray and make sure that you know what you want. One of the other questions was, is it harder to get into mainline than it is regional? Yes, it is. It's definitely harder to get into a mainline than to get into regional. What I would recommend is that anyone who wants to become a flight attendant is that you start with regional first, and then after a year or two, then you apply to be a mainline. If you want to work for United, I would say start with their regional company first, and then as long as you got your foot in the door. Regionals are a lot easier because they're smaller than the company, than the actual bigger planes. So sometimes it could be just you on the aircraft, or it could be you and plus another and the pilots. So in total 4. It just all depends on the regional that you apply for. Like I said, I'm gonna pin the link so that you guys can go on the website and you're able to apply to different airlines. Google regionals and who aren't regionals, and which companies have their own wholly owned regional companies as well. You want to do that. So regionals are a good way to start to become a flight attendant. You get your foot in the door, you get your flight attendant certificate card, and you're set. Once you have that one foot in the door, can't nothing stop. You can't turn back. There's no turning back. Just keep going, keep climbing, because that's what you need to do, and keep smiling. Okay? That's all that really matters. Keep smiling, guys. Listen to me when I say keep smiling. When you go to these interviews, you want to make friends. You want to become associated with the people who sitting next to you. Why? Because most likely these people are going to be in that training class with you. I'm going to post pictures from my training class, because some of the people who were actually at my interview process ended up being in the same class as me. And I was so happy. The first night when I got to the hotel, he was like, oh my gosh, you're here. And I felt so happy because these are people that I connected with in the interview process. And to know that they were there in the training process with me too, I felt a lot better. But anyway, that's the good part about it. Dress code for interviews, I would say make sure you have on your skirt. It's not too tight. Make sure the blazer you're wearing is able to you can button it. You want to make sure that when you're standing up with your blazer on, is buttoned. They always want to make sure you see that. Or a scarf. Depending on the airlines that you're applying for, you want to dress like how they dress. So I know what airlines what regional I was going into. So if they were blue, I wore blue. If they wore black, I wore black. You know, it just all depends. Whatever scarf they wore, I try to find something to match it. And make sure your heels are not too high. You don't want to be, you don't walk it. I mean, you walk in it like you are that bitch. Where you are that guy. Excuse my language. But at the same time, you don't want to walk in like you working the runway with your 6-inch heels. No. Coming in with your 3-inch heels or lower, and you're pumping it, making sure your black bag is in compliant, making sure that you are in compliant, you're ready to do this job, because that's what they're looking for. Okay, get you through this interview process to go into training. But it will be fun. It's a long process, but it is fun. I know this whole pandemic is like setting everything back right now, but that's okay. You know, things happen for a reason. It just happens. You can't be upset about that. I am upset, you know, but I don't want to be living in fear either. So I kind of don't really listen to the news. I should be listening to the news, but it's gonna freak me out and I can't psych myself out. But anyway, back to the interview process. I would say take a notebook, take your pen and your paper, take your notes, answer all the questions. I keep stressing that because the first interview, I did not take notes. I didn't ask questions. And they was just like, unfortunately, we won't be moving forward with you. I was like, oh. Ooh. You know, I was just like, damn, that easy? Damn, just like that? But okay. And then the second interview process, I went in with my notebook. I took my notes and I was ready to be a flight attendant. After the interview, the lady came back. She checked my points off from the first time I walked in to the last conversation we had within my face-to-face interview at the end of the day. And she was like, congrats, we're gonna offer you your CJO. And I wanted to scream, but I couldn't because, you know, other people were being interviewed at the same time. But I was just like, this is it. I passed it. My foot is in the door now. There's no turning back. When you get your CJO, it's the best feeling ever, guys. The best feeling ever. Best feeling, okay? It's the best feeling ever. And I was just like, wow, I really did it. I passed it. And that's the feeling I want you guys to have. So hopefully this video is going to help you and it's going to prepare you. If you have any other questions, I would say comment below about anything else that you want me to talk about, because I could do another video for you. I would do another video for you for any other thing else. But yeah, after you get your CJO, you do your fingerprints, you take a picture for your badge, then you go do your drug test, and you just sit at home and you wait. You wait for them to contact you. You wait to hear back. Girl, your class is gonna be starting in February. Oh, yo, I wanted to cry when I got the call. No, not that I wanted to cry. I did cry. Okay, I was sitting in my car and my cousin was there with me and they called. It was like, hey, we have a class starting in February. And I was like, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. Depending on the company, the classes will be about 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks. Mainline is mostly 6 to 8 weeks. Regionals are, 4 to 6 weeks. It all depends on the company, like I said. But that's the good part. Y'all, I'm so happy to share this story because it was the best feeling ever. Best feeling ever. But anyway, let's go into story time. Story time of training of my roommate. Guys, when you're going to training, I will say be careful. Just be careful. So, starting out, she was a very, very dope person. I still don't have no animosity held against her or anything like that. I just was not having, towards the end, it was just kind of like, I can't do it anymore. I definitely did go through a breaking point in training because of the situation that happened between me and my roommate, and it was just hard, guys. And when you're in training, you can't complain. Excuse me. You can't complain because they want to make sure that you're able to work with anybody. So the moment you go complain about another person, that's the moment that you're gonna get kicked out, and you can't let that happen because you don't work so hard to get so far. There's no need for you to backtrack. So just be careful. Let me see, where should I start? All right, so first week in training, everything went good, and then I do makeup, so she was going out, I did her makeup, and everything was good. Then she came back, and who she went on a date with, things didn't turn out good. I was just like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. By the end of the week one, I had already made connections with other people, so that weekend we decided to go to the mall, and I let her have the room. And she wanted the room dark or whatever. I let her have that. I went to the mall and I enjoyed myself with everyone else. Went to Jacuzzi, to Target, Walmart. We enjoyed ourselves. Went to what's the place called? Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's have some bomb 2-butt chuck wine. I didn't know that. That's another side story, but it's bomb, y'all. It's so bomb. But yeah, so I came back in the next week and everything started to hit the fan. And I was like, what just happened? I helped did laundry for her, washed her white shirts, and she was asleep, so they kind of got kicked off the bed. And then I was just like, that's not nice. Somebody did your laundry and then you just kick them off the bed. I don't know, you guys, I'm not gonna assume. I don't know. But yeah, so then we weren't really talking, and I wasn't really being in the room because then there was a lot of other personal issues going on, and it became I became very, very antisocial because I didn't want to be a part of what was going on with the drinking and stuff like that. And for me, it was sad because I really grew to like this girl. I really was, the beginning I was like, damn, this is my roommate, and it was a time where I cried so much because of how hurt it was to see what was going on. And it's like I couldn't complain because I didn't want to be the one to get sent home. But I don't know, it was just a sad situation. I'm not gonna get sad on here, but I'm just glad it's over. But it got really bad. And then a lot of, a lot of the other students, they were just like, damn, Safia, I didn't know you was going through all this. And I was like, yeah, because I didn't really tell anyone. I just kept it to myself. A lot of people didn't know or didn't see it. They smelled like the alcohol and stuff like that, but I didn't tell anyone about the situation. It was just kind of just keep it to yourself. Just pray to God, ask that He could get through this whole training, because you guys, I was ready to explode. I called my mom. It was like 12 o'clock at night. I was like, Mom, I can't do this. I'm ready to come home. I can't. Guys, it was so heartbreaking because I really loved this girl. She was so sweet. But yeah, so I ended up getting sick because she warmed up some food, and right off the bat I smelt it and it sent me throwing up. I started throwing up blood and all this crazy shit started happening to me, and I was like, Mom, I gotta go to the hospital. Mind you, I'm all the way in Minneapolis, and I'm going to the hospital in Minneapolis. Yes. And it was snowing outside in Minneapolis. It's like negative 11 degrees. And I went to the hospital, and I had to take a taxi that the job provided. And then I get to the hospital, they're like, we don't take insurance. Okay, cool. Had to go to another hospital, get there, and I got seen. They told me it was just me being nauseous from the throwing up and having to use the bathroom. It was bad, y'all. I was drinking ginger ale, eating crackers. Nothing was helping. I had to go to the bathroom. I had to go to the hospital. So after that, after I got seen, because it was snowing, to get a taxi back to come pick me up, it was about 2 hours to get me back to the hotel. And people just like, no, not waiting 2 hours. So I canceled the taxi. I tried Uber. Uber and Lyft told me it was gonna be $175. I said, who getting my $175? Not me. Not me. It was not happening, guys. I was like, oh no. $175 to get back to the hotel? No. So we called the hotel. It was like, hey, if we take an Uber to Mall of America, can the shuttle pick us up because it's in a 5 miles radius? The hotel started going off on me and the girl that went with me. My sweetheart, my prayer warrior. I love her so much. I'm gonna post a picture right here of me and her. But yeah, and we was just like, what is going on? So they told us, my roommate had came downstairs, started going off, saying she don't want to be staying in the room with someone who's sick, and that's going through it, and she don't know if it's contagious, and all this stuff she was saying about me, guys. And I was like, you the one who complained about me, I should be complaining about you. Like, I'm so confused. But I just left it alone. Got back to the room, packed all my stuff up, everything, and I moved to one of the other girls' rooms. So happy that she was so kind and so sweet to say, Safia, you don't need to be stressing right now. The following week coming up was a very big week for us. This was final exams, final drills, graduation, and she was like, just move in because you don't need to be stressing. I was like, okay, thank you so much. I packed all my stuff up. When I got back to the room and I was packing my stuff, she was just like, oh, Safia, just let me know what I did. We could talk about it. I was like, just stop talking to me. Don't talk to me. You know what you did. You went and you complained, but now you want to act like you don't know what happened. Just don't talk to me. Just don't. So I packed up all my stuff and I moved out. And I moved in with the other girl. And yeah, so the next day she didn't show up for class, and you're not allowed to miss 10 minutes of class because you will get sent home. Get written up. Yeah, you will get sent home if you miss 10 minutes of class. And They was just like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. I just stayed in the room last night. I moved out. They was like, you moved out? I was like, yeah. He was like, what happened? I explained what happened. And then the other instructor, she was like, no, you don't gotta call her. Don't worry, go take your exam. What you calling her for? I was like, bet. Took my exam. I passed because I'm a flight attendant, period. I passed, and they told me that I'm gonna be getting moved out the room because she's no longer in the program. And I said, okay, cool. I felt bad. But that morning, I was going to complain because I really couldn't take it anymore for what was going on, you know? And happily, my prayers to God, I didn't have to complain. I didn't have to go report the situation. He took care of it for me. Not saying that I wanted to get her kicked out the program, but she messed it up for herself by not showing up. That wasn't nothing on me, you know? But turned out well. That's my little story. And I'm just happy, you know, when you go into training, and I'm gonna do another video about how to prepare for training. You just be careful. Just be careful. It was so sweet in the beginning, and then after the one situation, after the date, it just should just hit the fan, and I was just like, yo, this is crazy. I didn't come all the way out here for this. You know, and part of me, I had to keep everything in, but I was boiling, you guys. Boiling. But I'm glad it's over. I'm so glad it's over. And yeah, that's my little story. I'm gonna add in a few videos from training, and then just let me know below if you guys want me to do another video about interviews, or do a how to prepare for training or what to prepare for video, you know, for the training process. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be back shortly for we'll be back with another video very soon. Hope you guys are staying safe. Please stay indoors and pray, you guys. Pray, because that's all God wants us to do, is pray. Yes. Thank you.